All right, guys. Well, here we are talking beef. We're talking beef tonight because we got a lot of beef out there. And, beef's one of those meats that's always been in question for some reason lately. I think every cardiologist in the world says beef is bad. Not everyone, because more and more of them are coming out and realizing otherwise. But this is a beautiful Black Angus steer. And, we started the farm with the intent of bringing great beef to people across this great country, from upstate New York all the way across this great country. And a lot of people are using beef, our beef in particular, to restore themselves and to get their bodies right and free themselves of inflammation, and take in probably what's the cleanest protein one can have, which is beef. Cow's got 4 stomachs, 4 chambers. It's got kidneys, it's got liver. So it's basically a gigantic filtering system. These cows are filtering systems. They have built-in filtering. So if you're eating beef, you're eating super clean stuff. So that's what we want to, remember. If we could make sure our diets are filled with good, clean meats like beef, we're going to be all right. But again, it's a shame because I get people that write on our Facebook ads all the time, beef is bad, beef is bad, it's bad for your health. You're in the business of killing animals. And look, at the end of the day, that's not why we do this. We don't do this to slaughter animals. We do this to bring people great food. And, these animals are bred for that. That's what they're bred for. They're bred for breeding and they're bred for feeding. So I guess it's fair to say breeding and feeding is what we do here at Freedom Farms, and we bring great beef and great pork, across this country. But for the purposes of tonight, we're talking about this beef here, and you could see them all going to town, right? They're eating this grass. They're using the grass to grow. And just in the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen these bodies on these animals change. We've seen their coats get more slick. They're looking more and more healthy by the day. And that's happening all because of grass and highly nutritious grass. See, last year, I don't know if you could see those cages back there, but we ran all of our chickens through this pasture, and we're giving this pasture a rest this year, and we're not raising any chickens out here. And because of that, this pasture came back with beautiful grass and beautiful nutrients for everybody. So the cows are really benefiting from that, and they're getting some highly nutritious grasses and feed and nutrients from this grass. So anyway, if you understand the whole system, you understand A, why these cows are here, and B, you start to understand how this all works. And you raise the cows feed the people. You raise the cows breed more cows, which allows us to feed more people. And I'm just here filling these water tanks. Give me a second here before I get myself all wet tonight. But that's what it is, right? And then here's the other part, right? With the grass, it rains, the grass takes on sunlight, and the grass grows to create feed for the cows. So it's these beautiful cycles that work here and allow us all to eat, right? It allows the cows to eat, and then the cows allow us to eat. So, we're always thinking about like the positive side of things. And old farms like this farm's been around a lot longer than I have, and it'll be around a lot longer, hopefully, than I am. But these farms have allowed us to eat for so many years and eat healthy, and really eating off the land is what it's all about. So, today, I think it's probably easier than it's ever been in, say, the last 20 or 30 years, because more and more people are getting involved with farms, right? They're starting gardens. They're, whether it's, just in their backyard. Some people are taking on homesteads. Some people are selling to farmers markets, whatever it may be. So it may actually be easier than ever now to eat off the land. And it may be our best time, you know, because now with the MAHA movement, with RFK Jr., like it's all being pushed. And, you know, the goal is to get people healthier, right? Get them off statins, get people off of blood pressure medication, get people back to living a healthy lifestyle, which I always said to myself, I said, look, if we could live entirely off of the land, what would that look like? And one of those things would be, okay, in the morning we'd have our eggs, right, that our chickens lay. We have chickens that run around. We also have ducks that run around too. So we could have chicken eggs or duck eggs as our protein. You know, we can have chicken, we can have beef, we could have pork, we could have turkey. So we got all our proteins covered. And then we have to ask ourselves, like, how many of these sort of wood boxes do we want to have? That one's a little bit crooked, but you know, what greens would we want? And the hard part about this region is that it's cold for so long. So you really got to think about, you know, what you can eat off the land in addition to your proteins. So, you know, for everybody here, you know, think about it in terms of your own diet. What are you eating on a day-to-day basis? And how much of it is what I call single ingredient food? Like beef, you know, is beef, pork, you know, is pork, broccoli, you know, is broccoli, spinach is spinach, lettuce is lettuce. And then what happens when you start to deviate? Like, what do your deviations look like? And that's what you really got to focus on. So, you know, we have a lot of customers that are on carnivore, they're carnivore dieters, and they eat beef. That's what they eat. Beef and eggs primarily. And you know what? They're lean. Their numbers are all improving. They're not experiencing some of the issues that many people experience, you know, through, you know, processed foods, and they're doing great. So it's like, how do you argue it? And for each person, you got to find what it is for you that allows you to do great. And I'll tell you what, I've been coaching people for a long time on nutrition, and these single ingredient foods are really what it's all about. And what I found is putting beef and eggs at the center of your diet is a good idea in terms of your proteins. You know, again, there's a lot of talk about vegetables. Are they good? Are they bad? Fruit, are they good? Are they bad? I tell you what, I still lean into the fruit. I still lean into the vegetables. And it's hard to find a fat person that eats vegetables and fruit, nuts and seeds, lean beef, fish, and eggs, right? It's hard to find that fat person, and drinks primarily water. So it's just hard to find that fat person. And I tell you what, if 90% of your diet is what I just said, you're gonna really find benefit. You know, your health is gonna transform, your body's gonna transform, your life is gonna transform. And that's really what it's all about, transformation. So I know we started talking about cows and we ended with transformation, but the grass transforms these cows transform us. And if we all thought like that, we'd have a greater appreciation, A, for these animals, and B, we'd probably realize what it takes to simplify our diets and really change our health. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight. I hope you guys have a great day, have a great night, have a great life. If you want us to ship some of this beautiful beef to your house, we are freedomfarms.com, little coupon down below. Check us out, Instagram, check out the website. Oh, these guys are real bullies, but this stuff could change your life, guys, these beautiful babies here. So check them out and put your comments down below. Hope you guys have a great night. See ya.